even on these sleepy Saturdays, there's always better action than we anticipate. And Colorado State was just that, as Jay Norvell had Coach Prime and the boys on the ropes, down 11 late. They have to score a touchdown in the final minute, 2-point conversion to force OT. They go to double OT. But in the end, Prime, Shedeur, and the boys walk away with the dub.
I just love the quote from Coach Prime saying, I looked over to the other side of the field and said, there's no way I'm going to let this man beat me. Like, it's kind of like when my brother and I were playing backyard basketball when I was a little kid.
Yep.
And he looks at me and said, okay, enough's enough already. I've been kind of letting like my little brother hang around for just a little bit too long. It's kind of pissing me off now. There's no way in hell I'm letting this little kid beat me. And man, Colorado, it is, you could not have scripted it better, because I know a lot of us were watching the pregame, whether you're watching the Fox big noon kickoff, which I think they're doing a great job with that, or the ESPN one. Man, they got The Rock, they got Little Wayne there, they got Gronkowski there. I mean, it was a party in Boulder, Colorado yesterday.
Yeah,
a who's who, even on the sideline, a who's who of the game. It's like the Los Angeles Lakers when they started bringing all the celebrities to the game. Like, that's the feeling now at Boulder, Colorado.
Actually, true, yeah.
That's the feeling. Like, Deion's bringing all the boys to go to Boulder to have a good time. And, you got rappers in the locker room pregame, all that good stuff. And then you win a game in double overtime. I mean, you could not have scripted it better for Deion to continue to just dominate the headlines once again this weekend.
Well, and that is where it gets kind of insane, right? I mean, you think about the margins, like, and everything you just said. It's not just the fact that there is an avalanche of criticism waiting to assault this team whenever they finally trip up, right? But that is there. Like, it's basically like last night, there were a lot of dudes with white Oakleys on Twitter who had tweets ready to go, quite fire them off. So you have all that. You have, like you said, you have the stars, all that. Like, there's just such a large spotlight, and you were dead. You were dead in the water. Like, you were not going to win that game. And with 30 seconds left, you score a touchdown to tie it, and then it all comes down to a 2-point conversion. If you don't get that 2-point conversion, you lose. You lose.
Yeah.
So to get that close to death, and you emerge on the other side with the massive win, Shedeur Sanders, this entire team, Michael Harrison ends up catching all the 2-point conversions all the time. It just, this entire team showed, and you might say, oh, well, Colorado State stinks. That was a close game. And that's all fair. Look, I don't think Colorado's going to beat Oregon, USC still, but
doesn't matter. You're 3-0.
Well, it doesn't matter. But also, like, I don't care about how good or bad Colorado State is. They came ready to play. And this Colorado team showed some real resilience to find a way to win that game when you had to. And you look up.
That's the second time we've done it. That's the second time they've done it. I mean, go back to even week 1 versus TCU, where, they came out swinging. They take the lead. TCU comes back, takes the lead, and you kind of like, okay, that was great and cute by Deion and the football team. It was cute. But then they came back and they started throwing some haymakers. They end up winning the football game.
Yeah.
Last week versus Nebraska, ugly start. The first half, no one's really scoring points. They find a way to dominate and run away with it in the second half. This week, same thing. Not a great start. Travis gets hurt. He gets banged up. Colorado State's a little bit more physical than you to start the game. And you find a way to get a 98. Like, when that punter punted it and the ball went out the 2-yard line, and you look up and it was like 2 minutes to go, and you got to go 98 yards to score a touchdown and get a 2-point conversion.
God, 98
I'm kind of like,
yards, dude. That is a mythological drive.
Like you said, like, everyone is just ready to say, okay, finally, we're going to put the fork in Deion Sanders. He's going to lose a game, and we're going to be able to rip him on social media or on YouTube, wherever it want to be. And they go down there and march and score. And then then who does this to say in overtime, I want the ball first?
Yeah.
And that is
crazy.
His relationship with Shedeur, his son, is absolutely incredible. I don't know if you've seen what they do for their pregame, but they walk from the 40-yard line to the goal line and back. And he says, I think it's from the 40 to the goal line, I'm your dad. And I'm talking to him like you're my son. And as soon as we hit the goal line and walk back, I'm your coach, and I'm going to talk to you like I'm a coach. So like they kind of have that moment, and it's just, I'm telling you, man, like the way that he can communicate with his team, the way that he can talk to his sons and the rest of the team, it's special, man. It is so unique and so cool. And I would love to have had the opportunity just to be in that locker room and see how he does it. But from everything that I'm hearing and seeing, he is truly one of a kind. But going back to that drive, to be able to go 98 yards, do that,
98.
say, I want the ball first in overtime, score and score again, and end up winning the thing. This is a good football team. And his son, Shedeur, is an absolute stud. He's a top 10 pick in the NFL draft. And I know you said, oh, they have no chance for Oregon. They have no chance for USC. And maybe they don't. Maybe they don't. You know, according to Prime, Travis may be out for the next couple weeks. Yeah, I'm not.
That's all I'm saying.
When you have a quarterback like him, like I said this last week, you will always be in the game. He's just too good.
Yeah.
He's too good.
Yeah. And I mean, you saw last night, and he was, and like to your point, I mean, that 98-yard drive will live on in Colorado Buffs history forever. That is mythological. Oh, wow. Brum put in the show chat here that they're 16.5-point dogs. I mean, I would feel the only thing about playing that makes me a little worried is like everybody's on it, right? And that's always when these things go awry. I mean, you saw it yesterday, right? Everybody was on the 23.5, and look what ended up happening. Whatever though, you know, we cannot get out of it, and we'll move on to Colorado now, but we do have to shout out Shilo Sanders for all the Shedeur talk. For all the Shedeur talk, Shilo Sanders got ranked last in Prime's Kid Power rankings. He hasn't gotten any love this year, and he comes up with a massive pick six early on, a forced fumble later. Shilo Sanders, take a bow, dude. Showing up big for your dad and your brother when they needed you.
Yeah.
Good job, Shilo. We're proud of you, dude, here on Snaps. Also, it's incredibly lame that Travis Hunter gets hurt on an illegal hit, like on a cheap shot.
Yeah. A lot of cheap shots from Colorado State last night. I think 9 total personal penalties.
And so it's weird, right? Because I'm, glass houses, like, I can't even lie. I was a dirty ass player. I get why they're doing it. If you're not as good, you get dirty, you try to,
intimidate,
hurt him, puff your chest out a little bit. So like, I get why they did it, and I can't say that I would not have done the same. But on this side of it, now that I'm an adult and I sit here and I talk about all this sort of stuff, it's incredibly lame that one of the best players in the entire country that was building a legitimate Heisman campaign is now going to be out for a few weeks because of a cheap shot. So that sucks. Also, the guy 11 immediately gave up a touchdown later in the drive. So way to go, bro. All right. So that was Colorado. Like you said, though, man, ton of celebrities. That place was packed. Big time ticket. What if you were just like in Boulder and you're like, oh man, I want to go see Coach Prime? You know what you need? You need the Game Time app. Okay. It is the fastest growing ticket app in the United States. And it can be last minute, right? You want some last minute amazing deals to your favorite college team, pro team this September. You want to download Game Time, but it's not just football. Okay. Baseball, concerts, comedy shows. They got it all on the Game Time app. Just download the app today. And if you use the code SNAPS, you get $20 off your first purchase. That's SNAPS, SNAPS. Terms apply. So download the Game Time, enter code SNAPS, $20 off, and no matter where you live, go have some fun this week. Doesn't have to be Boulder. Any tickets, fastest growing ticket app in the United States. Download Game Time today. Lowest price guarantee.